Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Willy's World podcast. Wow, what a journey it has been so far. We've covered a lot of ground in this podcast. We've covered new ground. We've been breaking ground. Hallowed ground. Sacred, pure ground. Dirt. Just dirty dirt. A lot of earthy smut. Wormy, dirty filth. Pile of compost of a podcast, but enjoyable and fun all the same. Look, I woke up this morning feeling pretty good. Really, if I had to describe it sort of, more viscerally, I would say I woke up this morning just full of jizz. You know, those mornings where you wake up and you just feel fucking, like I am a walking reproductive machine ready to spray at a moment's notice. Look, let's just get into the podcast. Episode 17, cracking into it, 1 minute in. Have a sip of tea first, if you will. You have a sip, I'll have a sip. Let's all have a sip. Old MacDonald had a sip. Fucking E-I-E-I-O. Look, is that a breach of copyright to sing that song on a podcast? If it is, this is not a world that I want to live in. Starting to sound a little bit political there. But it wasn't. Okay, so I've got a little, we always start with a little story, don't we? Get a story cracking, and let's get into it, because this week is no exception. It is just exceptional. Okay. So there was a, this is a story set in a real place. Not that the others weren't, but this is particularly real. So there's a Club X, right? There's a Club X store in St. Kilda. Or there was, at least, in the time that this story happened. And a man goes into this Club X store. Club X store, if you don't know and you're listening, is where they sell any manner of sexual adult toys, if you will. All toys come with a plus 18 sticker on them. And so forth. Anyway, some dude goes into the store and he, ding ding goes the bell, and he walks in, and the attendant there, man with a piercing in his nose, strolls up to him and he says, hello, how are you today? How can I help you? And the man says, hello, how are you? I'm just here to buy some things from your store, some products, if you will. The man says, well, that's great. Is there anything I can do to assist you or help you with your purchase? And the man says, yes, there is. I'm looking for a couple of bits and pieces here to put together in a gift for a certain special someone, if you know what I mean. And the man, the attendant there, the clerk, says, yes, I think I do know what you mean. Is there anything in particular that you are looking for? And the man says, well, I've come to this store and I see here you sell really all manner of sordid contraptions. Just real filthy things. It's a real smut lover's paradise here. That's exactly what I'm looking for. You see, I guess we'll start with something a little bit conservative as part of my gift bundle for my special someone. What about dildos? Would you mind showing me the dildos? And the attendant says, sure, over here we've got a lovely selection of dildos. We've got big, small, coloured, gelatinous. We've got see-through or transparent, opaque, if you will. We also have double-ended. Quite a large double-ended one we have here. And the man says, oh, double-ended sounds excellent, sounds good. I mean, 2 is always better than 1, I've always said. So maybe we'll take that as the first sort of purchase for my gift bundle. The man says, sure, no worries. And he sort of picks it up and holds it. It's like, oh, well, I'll just walk you around the store and we'll pick up some things that, might help guide your decision. The man says, that sounds fantastic. And next on my list is some sort of more anally orientated tool, if you will. The clerk says, sure, over here we have other anal contraptions. I mean, a dildo is something you could use in the asshole, but, sure, why not? Fucking, that. We also have other things here, like butt plugs. You like butt plugs? The man says, I love butt plugs. I mean, that would make a great addition to the package with the double dildo. And the man says, great, we'll add that in. And the fella says, do you have anything in the ways of clothing, maybe sort of dress-up role-play type thing? And the man says, yes, we have plenty of clothings in our adult range. We have here the old schoolgirl outfit. We have sort of the nurse or the maid. And the man says, gimp suits? Anything in the ways of leather gimp suits? And the gentleman, the clerk, says, we do have one last gimp suit in our range. Very lucky. It's a full leather outfit. Gets a little warm in there, a little bit sticky. But you should be fine if you're in a sort of air-conditioned environment, sort of safe environment, which is encouraged for gimp suit type behavior. The man says, fantastic. Yes, we do have central heating and cooling at home, so I think that will be just fine. We'll add that to the bundle. Sure. And then the man says, what about adult entertainment? You know what I mean? This special someone. We like to get a little bit of something on the TV happening, a little bit of stimulation from without, if you will. And the man says, yes, well, we have sort of a range over here of many DVDs, even though DVD is a sort of a passing medium, if you will. But we do have plenty of DVDs still from our stocks. The man says, I want the dirtiest just the dirtiest piece of material you possibly have at your disposal. And the man says, the clerk says, well, I think what you're looking for is Anal Fumigation 12. Comes with a triple X rating. That's 9 X's. Very dirty indeed. I think you'll love it. Right up your alley. Goes well with the gimp suit scenes, as there is a gimp scene, a 4th scene in the program. The man says, fantastic, I'll take that. And I think that'll just be that'll be the wrap for my special gift bundle. And then they move over to the desk there, and the guy the clerk, he starts scanning the items. And the man says, do you happen to, by any chance, do like a special gift wrapping type thing? This is sort of, as I said, it's for a special someone, and I wanted to really want to surprise them. It's their birthday coming up. The man says, sure, of course. The clerk says, of course, sure, we can do that. Let me just get some paper. And the paper's got titties all over it, of course. Titty paper. Titty wrapping paper. Ties it up. Once it's all scanned, puts a little bow. It's like, we also have a card here. Would you like to put a little message to that someone? We can do that as well. And the guy says, sure, absolutely. It's like, cool. What would you like me to write? And he says, well, let's start with, Dear Grandma, look, welcome to the Willy's World podcast. Just a bit of silliness. Look, we have a sponsor. It's, sponsor is, Coles self-checkout. Because efficiency is more valuable than honesty. Yeah. Not sure what that's all about. Honesty. Honesty is important in this life. Look, a fucking sip of tea if you will. Oh. God damn, I love a good cup of tea in the afternoon. Okay, that's that done. Oh, what's on the schedule for today? We have a segment that is a kind of confessional, if you will, from Willy. It's a Willy confessional, and in the nature of it being a confessional segment, I have a confession to make. Look, it's been a rough week in Willy's world. I had to come clean with something that was really, let's face it, it was becoming quite a big problem in my life, and it was tough for all involved, that being my friends and family and myself and my church. Look, the people that cared about me midway around the week, Wednesday, it was hump day. They gathered me around when I got home from work, and they confronted me about something that just came to a head after months and months of sort of a build-up, and that was my addiction. I had an addiction that I really wasn't willing to face, and it was an addiction to malto milks. You know, the biscuit malto milk. I was addicted to it, and it's such a weird thing, addiction. It started out as a, just a little bit of extra pep with a cup of tea around morning tea, I'd sort of have my cuppa and I have a biscuit there on the plate, it's sort of delicious, malty, savoury little wheat bicky. It started with just a little bit of a pep, a little bit of something special between me and my cup of tea in the morning, around 11:30 on the dot. But then it started creeping into other meals, breakfast, have a NutriBullet shake with a couple of malto milks, morning tea with the malto milks again, lunchtime, chicken stir fry with the malto milk side, dinner, steak, pot roast, lamb casserole, side of malto milk, side of salad with, what's his name? Paul Newman. With salad dressing, vinaigrette, with a side of malto milk crumbled in instead of feta. Supper, warm Milo with milk and a malto milk. Midnight snack, milk, skinny, malto milk, full cream, full wheat. It was a problem. But, before I knew it was all I could think about was the malto milks. Every waking moment was a fevered dream of malto-ness. Multi. Every social occasion I couldn't get through, work presentations, everything was fueled by this malto milk heaven. But I'm clean now. I'm clean, okay? 4 days clean. And, I actually keep track of how many days and how many meals or whatever I'm actually free of the malto milk curse. I actually keep it in this journal that I have under my desk here. And, oh. Well, look at that. Under my desk, I found a packet of malto milks. It's funny. I thought I cleared all of them out. My friends and family helped me clean them out, but here they are. It's a packet of the original malto milk, no artificial flavors or preservatives. Smells fresh. Must have been purchased in the last month. Look, I think that I could. We're all grown-ups here. I'm sure that I could just have one. Just one malto milk, just to reward myself. I've been so good at it, I've been really sticking to this sobriety, really taking it seriously. But I really feel like I'm really ready for just one last malto milk, So look, I'm just gonna do it, okay? I'm making my own decisions. Here we go, okay? Still got my tea here. Little sip of that. It's pretty good. Pretty good, just like I remember. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Oh, I'm an animal. Oh, so good. Look, we'll be right back with more of the episode 17 of the Willy's World podcast, Never Ending Season 1. We'll be right back. I feel so fucking alive. Yeah, it's good. That is good. Okay. I had a sip of tea. And we're back. Okay. Apologies for that. Things got a little bit out of control there. Whew. My word. Anyway, I got a sponsor. This is new sponsor to the podcast called Rant a Story. Is your life boring? Do you go to dinner parties fearful because you don't have any fun stories to tell? Well, look, now those days are over. With Rent a Story, now you can use and rent other people's stories and pass them off as your own, which is brilliant. You have a boring Christmas break? No, you didn't. You flew to Hawaii and hiked forbidden trails in the tropical mountains. Did you stay indoors most of last summer? No, you didn't. You can tell everyone about how you went on a family trip to Cancun, where you had an affair with the cute Mexican temptress from behind the front desk, which is wild. Seriously, you'll be the talk of the town with stories that knock people's socks off. You can relive other people's adventures and assume none of the risk that was used to involve and create the experience of the actual story, which is awesome. So become the Steven Spielberg of your own life by going to rentastory.com/Willy's World and using the promo code Sociopath and upgrade your social rank with a wild tale today. Incredible. Just incredible stuff. What they're doing these days is just blows me away. What do we got? Last segment of the podcast. It's Ask Willy, everybody's favorite segment. Everybody loves this segment. Getting a lot of people writing in saying, Willy, I love this segment. Here's a question. And here is a question from Loose Leaf 21. Hey, Willy. Hey, you going, Mr. Loose Leaf? Look, there's this girl I really like, but she's with this other guy. How do I actually make her my girl? So that's a great question. I actually have a foolproof seduction strategy that's perfect for this question. All right. What you do is you just sort of keep your distance, keep aloof from this girl and this guy. Just sort of push them aside, But what you want to do is actually go off and get involved in a whole bunch of organized crime and that sort of thing, and make a shit ton of money. Make a shit ton of money really, really, really quick. I'm talking like multi-millions. Okay? And once you've got all that money, what you do is you buy this huge fuck-off big mansion, sort of by the ocean. So if it was in Melbourne here, you'd do it like around Brighton type area. Build a huge brand new mansion with big like a library and sprawling ballrooms and swimming pool and that sort of thing. And here's the real kicker to the strategy. This is what really, really will win her over. Is what you do is you start hosting these massive parties. You just invite these huge open invitation parties that all these rich people from all around the city or your city or Melbourne, if you live in Melbourne, will come to. And, and eventually she'll come to the party and she'll fall in love with you and her name will be Rosie. And that's how that ends. Ends very happily and you all live happily ever after. Cool. So, I've got another question here from utensil connoisseur _59. So, hey, Willy, what's your favorite piece of technology? It's a very, very good question. Very apt question. There is a lot of technology happening these days, consistently changing and updating, which is good, I guess. My favorite piece of technology. Well, I like the computer. Computer's pretty good. It's got a lot of benefits, a lot of uses. I like electric guitar. It's fun to sit there and to jam it. I like my iPhone, sort of a little piece of art, if you will. It's so beautiful to use and so simple. But no, none of those are my favorite pieces of technology. In fact, my favorite all-time piece of technology is the spoon. You can eat yogurt, ice cream, soup, But the best thing is you can use it to carve a hole in the wall and mine your way to freedom if you're in prison. All right, that's it for the podcast. It's been a good one. I have to go to check myself into fucking rehab because my malto milk addiction is still there. It's still like a virus that's sapping its way through me. And all of that sort of thing. But I hope you had a good episode. 17 minutes, fucking hell, we are well over time. The sponsors are not going to be happy about this hogging the air time. Anyway, I couldn't give a shit about them because I'm not in this for the money. I am in it for the money. But anyway, have a great week, and I'll catch you next week for another week of the Willy's World podcast. It'll be episode 18. Look forward to it. See you there. Goodbye.